So they're not going to make money, but still, when you look at the amount of money, Malachy, the amount of money we're looking to spend, there are two sides to this coin. Some people will say it sounds like a lot of money, just like the case of, and permit me to link this with our INEC, where 45 billion is said to have been budgeted. It sounds like a lot of money. 25, okay. No, I think it was 45 billion for 2015.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes.
It's been budgeted. 45 billion has been budgeted. Aminu Tambuwal, Honorable Aminu Tambuwal said it is too small. The federal government, through the budget office, says that's adequate. And INEC says they need more. Now, 7 billion, do you think it will be enough, or do you think it's just the appropriate?
The way to look at, to respond to that question, is to ask the consequential question, and that is, what will be the price of not having this conference?
The opportunity cost.
So what has, are we not in a country where we're told that
20 billion is missing?
You know, they started with $48.9 billion dollars. They came down to 20, said 12, recorded 10. Even if it is $1 billion, that is more than the national budget of most African countries. And I'm saying we're in a country where this money is available. If we have recorded perennial crises that have become monsters simply because we did not deal with them when we ought to deal with them, we are saying that we have sufficient resources in the country today to deploy in the direction of attempting to fix these problems. And that rather than hearing that 20 billion had gone missing, I think there was a recent one again after the 20 billion. There's 25 billion. Day in, day out. We are saying 7 billion, although I'm not a beneficiary, but so much will be achieved by at least letting the steam off. There is a pent-up anger. We are hoping that some of these initiatives will cure, because this country, as I see it, can go into flames for the wrong reasons. I mean, people are losing their loved ones day in, day out. Young men and women, perception about Nigeria are changing on a daily basis, and there is nothing you can do about that. Because if you find a 20-year-old young boy who has lost his father, in short, a cousin of mine, Akila, they call him, Major Akila, from my village, was buried. I was in Delta State just last weekend, Saturday precisely, for the burial of a 27-year-old young boy from my village, killed mercilessly by the Boko Haram because he was drafted. He's in the artillery. He was drafted into Maiduguri. So, what will you tell the mother of such a diseased boy regarding the fate of this country? 7 billion is not too much in relation to what we hear. But I'm circumspect in responding because I know that some of the people who have also found their way into the conference, you'll be shocked that rather than thinking about what fiscal federalism means or citizenship, will be desperately devising the means of getting that to the last couple. Yes, because as they see it, you must pardon them.
This is my chance.
This is the only time you have allowed me as a
chop small.
and may I add that there is expectation that this, as was recommended, that this whole event will not be just confined to the halls or the hall of the conference. We expect that it will be streamed live, real time, online. The preparations to that effect, we promise the people that, and we expect to do that because there must be a way for them to interface. Portals have to be set up so that Nigerians, just as you got a tweet now, can interface with what is going on there real time. So we can create polls. People having polled on yesterday's issues say this is what the Nigerians are tending towards. Okay. But that might influence or help the discussions within the conference. So that way, it is not really going to end up being a conference of 500 or so delegates. It will be a conference of 170 million
people.
Nigerians, directly or indirectly.
That's encouraging.
Via mobile phone, everybody can say, I disagree, I agree, don't discuss this, discuss this.
Okay.
So I really think this is a good opportunity.
Well, we got to go now. So I'd like your last word on this conference, and I'd like that to also include what your expectations are at the end of the day.
In 1 or 2 sentences, we've got to wrap up.
I made a point earlier that I have no illusions as to the very big things that people are expecting from this conference. But then, to the extent that it will help to at least cool things down a bit, and probably refocus on, refocus again on those fundamental issues that troubles this nation. And then, again, the possibility that it will also articulate the pathway forward. And whether it comes by way of an executive bill or whatever, my own is, let's get to at least let Nigerians talk. Okay. Let's have an agreement, a framework of agreement. Okay. I do not underestimate some of the problems that will come, but at least I know again, it will also bear out as Nigerians our capacity to deal with problems. So I see, on the whole, it's a positive thing that Nigerians are at least talking.
Nigerian is at the crossroads now. We have opportunity to diffuse the tension. But I think that by far more than that is the responsibility on the part of the government to ensure that these 3 months, this amount to be spent will not be wasted. And I've given my suggestion on what should be done.
Tony?
Well, I believe that this conference will enable us to articulate what commonalities we have as Nigerians, and that will draw us together, and to resolve to a large extent our differences. Whether we are going to be able to resolve the critical major issues, I hope we will, or not. I cannot say. But one thing I agree with Malachy and Sonia about is it's better to judge than to war.
Okay, thank you very much. And Malachy, I just want to make a little comment about what you said earlier, that anybody who is going there because he will feel that this is his turn had better start thinking again, because Nigerians, 170 million of us, are expecting a lot to come out of this conference that will shape the future of our nation. Thank you very much. We have been talking to Tony Uranta, member of the Presidential Advisory Committee on National Dialogue, Sonia Oni, member editorial board at the Nation newspaper, as well as Malachy Ugwummadu, legal practitioner.
I think the Presidential Committee is disbanded now.
Former Presidential
Advisory Committee.
Please, now.
Thank you very much. Sunrise will return in just a moment with yet another very interesting conversation. Please stay with us.